You know who I am, I'm here. We're looking at Adobe Premiere Pro today. We're going to get into the video editing software. I'm going to show you how to set up a project, how to actually open the software within the interface on your computer, and then get into the software and start a new project. We're going to show you how to name it. We're going to show you how to save it to a location on your hard drive where you can find it later and reopen it. And then we're going to show you how to set up a sequence. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to set up a sequence and begin the editing process. All right, that's it for today. Try and get this done in the next 5 minutes. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is go down here to the Start menu, open this up, go to Adobe. You should know where the Adobe software is at. It's in the Start menu here under Adobe. You're looking for Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is our video editing software. Here we go. Here is our Premiere Pro software. Very simple to use. The interface is really easy to use once you understand what's here. All right, this is the splash screen to open a project or a new project. So I already have a bunch of projects here that I've been working on. All right, you are just going to open a new project. Recognize here on this splash screen that there is a Learn menu. You can actually get in here, and Adobe will teach you a lot of the stuff that you can do inside the software. All right, so if there's any moments where you are done with what you're working on, you want to move on to something new, learn something else, there's a ton of stuff in here that Premiere teaches you. There's a button here for all in-app tutorials, so this goes through tutorials that are actually built into the application. All right, oh look, animating titles, that'd be a fun one. We'll do that later. All right, so back to the home screen. So here's our splash screen. All right, so we're going to go new project. Let's just go new project. And then it's going to take us to this screen. Now, if you already know where your videos are at that you're going to edit, and look, mine opens up my my hard drive so I can actually access videos that I have on here. If you have video that you're editing, you know where it's at, you can go there. Most of you, you're going to be able to find your stuff in the downloads because you're downloading it off of Google Drive, and then you're opening it so that you can edit it in software. So it's probably in your downloads folder. But if you have a folder and you know where it's at, you can navigate that now. If not, let's go ahead and name our project today is, we're just going to call this Creating and Saving a New Project. All right, and then we're going to tell it where to go. So this is super important. You have to name your project. If you don't name it, you don't know what it's called. It'll be defaulted to untitled, and you'll probably save over it at some point in your editing career. All right. So make sure and name it, give it a unique name, and then tell it where to go. Mine always goes to my OneDrive, all right? So I know where my OneDrive location is at. Yours should be on your OneDrive as well. If it's not right now, all right, then go ahead and choose location, navigate to the sidebar here, and you should see your OneDrive. It should be there. This should be the only location you're allowed to save. If you're like me, you have your OneDrive all organized, a bunch of folders that you can easily navigate. This is this year's folder for me, and here's my Adobe folder, and here's my Premiere Pro folder. So all of my projects are in here. I'm going to save this project in here. That way I know right where it's at anytime I need to find it to read it. All right, I'm going to select that folder. That's really all I need to do. I'm not going to import any of this stuff in, and then I have my image in the way down here, but your Create button is down here in the lower right-hand corner. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Create. And it's going to start my project. All right. Now, some of you have been in the software. It looks awesome. You know what this looks like. For the rest of you, let's walk through the basics really quickly. All right. So your 5 basic windows of your editing workspace. All right. If you're not in an editing workspace right now, you can go to Window, and you can go to Workspaces, and you can set it to the editing workspace. This is the easy default setup. This gives you the 5 windows within the interface that are the primary workspace. So you have your source monitor. This is where you can check your video before you edit it. Your program monitor. This is where you can watch your edited video back. So everything you edit in the timeline will be able to be played back here in the program monitor. All right. And then you have the timeline. This is where we do all the editing. This is where you're going to place your clips, trim them down, add audio if you have a music track you want to add. Any sound bites that you want to add in here, all of your editing is going to be done right here on the timeline. All right, and then you have a toolbar right next to it. It only has a few tools in it, but know that there are drop downs that get you a whole bunch of other tools. So it may look like there are a few tools, but honestly, everything you need is right here in this toolbar. All right, select tool is the big one. That's going to allow you to grab video and move it around on the timeline. All right, and then your razor tool, which is going to allow you to cut pieces out of a video that you have on the timeline. All right, so those are your two primary tools. We'll get into shape tool and the type tool later on. All right, so importing assets in, here is your project bin. This is where all of the assets go for your project. So they're going to reside right here in this bin. Once you get ready to edit them, you're going to take them from the bin. You're going to put them on the timeline. There are a few different ways you can do that, and we'll show you how to do that eventually. But for right now, really, we're only going to be playing in the project bin. Okay, so we have our project bin. Remember, you can import several different ways. I've taught you like 4 or 5 different ways to do it. So you can go File, Import. That allows you to import media in. It's going to open an import window. All right. You can also go Control-I, which does the same thing. It opens up the import window. You can right-click in the project bin and go Import. All right. So you can go to your folder if you want and navigate to your videos. So I know where some videos are at. I have some in 23, 24. Probably in, where is this? This is my OneDrive. Here's my Jag News. All right. And here we go. There are a couple of, here's my 30-second intro. And let's go ground fog. Let's just import these. All right. So I can grab those and drag them and drop them in. All right. So now you know how to set up a project, rename it, save it. All right, so we know where we're saving it. Remember, you can always go Control-S, and it's going to save your project. All right, so that's where I wanted to go with that. That's all we're doing today, creating and saving a new project. You should know how to import stuff in, put it on the timeline. All right, not difficult, easy to do. You should be able to do that today.